That is the last time you were gonna pull that crap.
I go my own way, you go your own way. I hope we can make a way. These kind of things fade away. I got my...
Alright, let's do this one last time.
Part 1 did bad. Part 2 did worse.
Way worse.
Is the third time the charm? Unlikely, but we doing it anyway. This is Every Peanut Special Reviewed Volume 3. Let's see if I can trick you bitch ass niggas. 4 specials at a time, 1 video a month, all in order, all unrelated hip hop songs, hella slang talk, we going crazy.
I'm a young rich black African American, you horse, you know what I'm saying?
Fuck off, Johnny.
Sorry I didn't watch these yet. I like to wait until the whole series is out because I'm a fucking hack.
Oh yeah? You ever watch The Simpsons before? That hasn't ended yet. Shut the fuck up.
This ain't televised, they telling lies, but promise I won't. We've been patronized, they taking lives, I'm on my way home. Relax my mind about half the time I'm watching cartoons for nights, how I'm locked in my room. Of course they resemble my skin when I watch too. Hypnotizing, tannic, how I follow through the vibes. Okay, dreaming mama's proud as if she looks through Penny's eyes. I'm a man of the house like Oscar. You deceive, I believe need Oscar. James Earl when I speak, I'm a Fossa. Gotta swerve in the streets, never block us. I go, feel more, just try make you feel more. Through the halls I felt storms. Looking at me cause I don't like what you like, you feel torn. Should've smacked you like slick back, you ain't seen pimpin' before. For the stars I shoot pimpin', no boy, you best set the score.
Oh my god, here you go with the same damn ad read again.
You know what? You do it.
What?
Yeah, you do it.
Since you got your degree, and you know every fucking thing.
Today's video is actually brought to you by the service Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different classes covering dozens of different creative topics, all taught by well-versed professionals. Premium membership gives you unlimited access, so you can join whatever classes or communities you feel like are right for you. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even your career, Skillshare is honestly the best place for you to go to continue to develop whatever your craft is. There's classes on everything from poster design, animation, to writing. There's a lot of food in this one, so why not check out Leela Sid's class on food photography, shooting in 5 styles.
That's the one you're going with?
Yes.
Okay.
An annual subscription is less than $10 a month, but we're a little short. Helga, the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity without having to put the bag up. With Skillshare, you can find inspiration in the moment and learn how to express your creativity, bring color and beauty and fun to your year. Just go to Skillshare.com/ToonRificTariq03211. Skillshare.com/ToonRificTariq03211 for a premium membership free trial.
There's no time for love, Chuck.
There's no time for love, Charlie Brown. Never seen this one before either. Let's see, so what's this one about? Charlie Brown and Peppermint Patty are both not doing well in school. Both of their classes end up going to the same museum and get an assignment to write an essay about one of the exhibits.
I'll bet you're kind of glad to see me, huh, Chuck?
What the hell? Oh my god, son, this is
We're gonna do this
terrifying.
together, Chuck.
They gave these kids quadruple vocals. They sound like Tupac ad-libs. However, they kind of fuck up and go to a grocery store instead. I don't know, man. These kids are pretty stupid.
It looks like a stack of tomato cans in a supermarket.
What do you mean, supermarket? That's pop art. What's the matter with you, Marcy? Don't you know pop art when you see it?
Nice cover up there, Sparky. This is the first time we get to see Peppermint Patty and Charlie Brown sitting next to each other under that tree. It's a motif that's used a lot in the comics as well. This, along with what happens in the grocery store, becomes our first introduction to Peppermint Patty's crush on Charlie Brown. That's where the title came from. This is also the first appearance of Franklin, but we're gonna save everything about him for the next special.
My report is on Africa.
Come on, son, stop fucking... Son, why does this nigga keep writing about Africa? It looks like this is our first Marcy too. She comes in around the 8-minute mark. I highly doubt we'll ever see Roy again. All of Peppermint Patty's more popular and successful friends are here now. Marcy's really cute and sweet though from the jump. She has that innocence, that gullibility missing from her in the newer stuff. In something like the Peanuts movie, she's just kinda bookworm, and she's really know-it-all, sarcastic-y. It always feels so out of place.
Did you say Leo's toy store?
Yeah, Peppermint Patty told me you said it was the great...
Stop right there, Charles. Come with me.
See, like, what the fuck? Marcy would never say that back then. It's like they looked at her design, saw the glasses, and thought that meant that she was the smart one. Look at her, she's so fucking stupid. She ran up on Peppermint Patty's crib at 4 a.m. and thought that she overslept for school. Fuck is so smart about that?
It's no use. I can't go back to bed.
Hey man, look, listen, okay. I think it's cool that they hire kids for these and have them voice the characters, really nice, but man, is it rough sometimes.
That was nice of you to come help us with the field trip report, Chuck. Especially after Peppermint Patty let slip what she really thinks of you.
Hey, look at this shit. Marcy over here reading her lines like Floyd Mayweather. Psych nah. Son, this feels like I'm watching an episode of the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show. Is this where the template for that show came from?
Let's have a party with Charlie Brown and Snoopy.
I guess I'll explain. The Charlie Brown and Snoopy show was a Saturday morning cartoon that they did in the 80s. That's the show where Charlie Brown punches Lucy in the face.
What happened?
You hit me, you blockhead.
Oh shit. So the way they're set up is they'll usually pick like a subject, like school, with a few select characters and do a bunch of quick comic strip style gags with a fade in and a fade out. No real story, no real structure. 3 minutes in and they've done this like 5 times by now. This isn't how these specials are normally set up. Even the way they intro the title feels off in comparison to everything else.
There's no time for love, Chuck.
But yeah, they kind of just show everyone dicking around in school for a little bit. It kind of just feels like they're animating comic strips. Wait, now Linus is in class with Lucy? Man, I give up. I still don't have no thesis. And that, my friends, is what we call a callback. Oh shit!
You look kind of depressed, Charlie Brown.
Really? Wow, Linus, I've never seen him like that before. Somebody should look into that, fuck. The special takes a page out of Play It Again's handbook in the 3rd act, then kind of becomes a character piece about Peppermint Patty and her relationship with Charlie Brown.
You kind of like me, don't you, Chuck?
This has always been her thing, right? I guess I always kind of saw this as her projecting how she feels about Charlie Brown onto him, kind of testing out the waters to see how he responds. Or maybe it's just kind of her picking up on his nervous energy. She kind of sees him as being nervous as part of his infatuation, when really, he's kind of just a nervous wreck in general, I'm not gonna lie. But then she does this.
Me? Me in love with Chuck? How could anybody ever be in love with boring, dull, wishy-washy old Chuck?
I thought I heard someone sigh.
Which is a normal little kid thing though, right? But she sees how this affects him and she instantly regrets it. She kind of treats him one way when they're alone together and treats him like everyone else in this scene here, when she's confronted head on about her emotions, much like she often does to Charlie Brown. I guess an element of Peppermint Patty's personality that I never picked up on is that she kind of does a lot of projecting, and it's usually at the expense of Charlie Brown. It's really interesting and real to watch. It's definitely the best part of the special. I don't know. The opening to There's No Time for Love Charlie Brown definitely threw me off, but the character stuff with Peppermint Patty and Charlie Brown and Marcy is all really fun to see. And it's animated pretty well too. Giving this one a watch won't hurt. You might actually find something that you enjoy here. It belongs right there in the mid-tier of Peanut specials.
You're my silver medal.
How come you're always calling me sir when I keep asking you not to? Don't you realize how annoying that can be?
No, ma'am.
But look at him! Look! I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys.
Damn, mommy.
Man, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with these transitions anymore, man. Charlie Brown, Thanksgiving, one of the goats.
I got Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is a very important holiday. Ours was the first country in the world to make a national holiday to give thanks.
And how's that working out for you, OG? Thanksgiving Day, Charlie Brown, Linus, and Sally are supposed to eat dinner at his grandmother's crib.
We can hold hands under the table.
You can what? But Peppermint Patty invites herself, Marcy, and Franklin over to Charlie Brown's crib for Thanksgiving. So he makes them a fucked up meal because he's 8 years old and can't make toast.
That's right. I've seen you make toast. You can't butter it, but maybe we could help you.
This nigga can't do nothing right with the hell. It's cool though, because near the end, Charlie Brown calls his grandma and she invites everyone over for real white people food. Mad casserole.
Grandma, this is Chuck. I mean Charlie Brown.
Nigga said his full name when talking to his grandma. His buddy get no love whatsoever. This looks just as good as You're Not Elected. So many great acting bits. I'm quoted in saying that I'm not a big fan of all the Snoopy mime stuff, but the animation work by Bill Littlejohn here is legitimately legendary. We're slowly getting into that era I was scared of. There's a lot of scenes of just Snoopy dicking around in this one. They try to balance it out, but it's probably the most time we spent with him up until this point. Dude, the Woodstock's fed up too. Look at this nigga while Snoopy's trying on the colonizer drip. Woodstock either hates imperialism or cosplaying. Or both.
What?
I'll give the scene some credit though, the payoff is hilarious. Yeah, like I didn't just use that in the transition. They get a little ambitious for Peanuts. There's some interesting angles that they do at the dinner table. And the acting on Peppermint Patty is really great. Peanuts characters are animated hilariously when they're pissed off. This is the first one to have two directors. Before this, Bill Melendez directed all of them dolo, but Phil Roman came in to finish the rest of this one. If you watch a lot of these, you'll recognize Buddy's name. Or, if you know the Film Roman Animation Studio, that's all his body.
Bill put me on staff as an animator. One day when I was animating on a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, Bill came in and laid this pile of papers on my desk. He said, "I've gotten real busy on some other things. Maybe you can finish directing this picture." So all of a sudden, I had to analyze his style and how he timed things. I started working with the animators. I would time things out, do the exposure sheets, and do some posing of each scene, what the action was going to be. I guess Bill was happy with the way things were going because he kept me on. I directed 14 Charlie Brown specials and co-directed 2 of the features.
It wouldn't be a Peanuts holiday special without Pastor Linus giving us the rundown of the history, right?
Elder William Brewster, who was a minister, said a prayer that went something like this. We thank God for our homes and our food and our safety in a new land. We thank God for the opportunity to create a new world for freedom and justice.
Amen.
Hey, broski! Broski, you forgot to talk about all that genocide. What's good, my nigga? Why you forget that? I do appreciate Peppermint Patty's existence. She's the only one to tell Linus' preachy ass that he's full of shit.
This is not unlike another famous Thanksgiving episode. Do you remember the story of John Alden and Priscilla Mullins and Captain Miles Standish?
This isn't like that one at all.
It's interesting, Peppermint Patty's crush on Charlie Brown kind of starts in the special before this, and it trickles into this one too. She just forces her way into his crib. It's the sickest shit I've ever seen in my life. And of course, she flips when she sees all of the bum-ass food this nigga got laid out.
What kind of a Thanksgiving dinner is this? Where's the turkey, Chuck? Don't you know anything about Thanksgiving dinners? Where's the mashed potatoes? Where's the cranberry sauce? Where's the pumpkin pie?
Where's the tuna bean casserole?
Peppermint Patty's remorse for how she treats Charlie Brown is left over from There's No Time for Love, too. It's interesting to see how much of these interactions are kind of expanded on and played with when you watch all of these in order.
Let's not play lovers games, Chuck.
I agree.
You're holding my hand, Chuck.
Oh, ruh-roh. I was actually trying to remember if this special had anything to say while rewatching it, because for the first half, I actually couldn't think of anything. But, nah, it's more a story about togetherness and not putting so much weight on trivial things like cornbread or hush puppies.
But Thanksgiving is more than eating, Chuck. You heard what Linus was saying out there. Those early pilgrims were thankful for what had happened to them. And we should be thankful too. We should just be thankful for being together.
It's kind of a watered down version of the Christmas special's moral, but whatever. A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is a staple. It's still really fun. It's still really funny. I don't want to say that it captures the heart of the holiday, because I don't like to think that any cute kids should capture the heart of genocide, but it's a certified classic. It's never truly autumn unless you throw this joint on. And also, Snoopy feeds bird to a bird. Mad DuckTales vibes.
Review DuckTales.
No, fuck off. Alright, so before we get off this special, let's actually talk about Franklin. Every year, if you spend enough time on the internet, you'll always see the exact same post. People take a screenshot of Franklin as he's seated at the dinner, on the side with no one next to him, as all the white kids are on the other. I've seen others call this as some kind of visual racism, something to purposefully isolate Franklin from the rest of the cast because of the color of his skin. And while on the surface I can see where they're coming from with this, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really subscribe to it. One commenter once said to me that Charles Schultz got pushback from the network for introducing Franklin into this special, which I don't think is true because he's literally in the one before it, and I know all about the pushback he received from newspapers, but I cannot confirm nor deny this whole thing like about the network. But mainly, I don't think this is racist because if you watch the scene, you'll realize that Franklin doesn't do anything, son. Where else were they gonna put him? Linus is at the head, he leads the prayer. Charlie Brown is next to Peppermint Patty because they're the ones with the confrontation, and Snoopy's next to her, so they can have her watch him make all of this food and discuss. Peanut's cinematography has always read left to right, like a comic strip, you see. Franklin is the only one at the dinner table with no character moment and no one interacts with him in the script. So whoever boarded or animated the scene didn't even bother putting him next to anyone. That's at least my take on it. People are welcome to subscribe to any version of this that they see fit. And at the end of the day, it's possible too though that whoever animated this or put this together has some kind of unconscious bias, right? Because that definitely does happen. Just because something exists as presented does not mean that it was done purposefully or with any bad intentions. But look, I think it's at least important to consider it may just be a drawing, son. And I don't mean that in a dismissive kind of way. You know, I just kind of think that we should take a step back and really realize what we're analyzing here. If Peanuts was actually racist, Franklin wouldn't even be at the damn table. And he definitely wouldn't be riding in the car on his way to Charlie Brown's grandmother's crib, where he's clearly depicted seated next to everyone else, by the way. He sits in front of Peppermint Patty at school. They're all seated next to each other and Snoopy come home. You really think this is racist? In what other neighborhood could a little black boy just walk into a little white girl's house like that? Hey, wait, fuck you looking at? Franklin is one of the most important black characters in animated fiction. I kind of want to do a video about his creation and how he was handled throughout the years. Schultz was prepared to end the entire comic strip altogether if they weren't going to let him move forward with his creation.
I wasn't sure that I could do it, frankly. I don't know what it's like to grow up as a black kid. I only know what it's like to grow up as a barber's son in St. Paul. But I got 2 letters from fathers who said, "We understand your problem, but try it anyway. Just go ahead and try it."
Franklin's depiction in Peanuts is not perfect. It is not flawless. I would be the first person to tell you that. This nigga be breakdancing, dapping niggas up. He raps in the 90s and comes out with a fucking boombox. But it's okay though, he's one of the good ones. If you think this is me putting a cape on for Captain Save a Microaggression, you got me 2 different types of fucked up. But saying that to say, Franklin deserves nuance. He deserves actual thought, not a screenshot from a special that you haven't seen in 10 years. So really, the best way to go about it is to pay attention, research, and approach things like this with nuance. I know y'all won't actually do it, but I can at least go to bed at night knowing that I told y'all to do so.
Hey, look, first of all, Charles Schultz named that dude after me. He's not a racist. When he passed away in 2000, I just felt like putting down my pen. I'm not kidding. I loved him being alive. I loved him. I know when he was reading Jumpstart. This was my idol when I was a little boy. And then here he was telling me how good Jumpstart. He had an enormous amount of regard for what I was able to do with black characters. And he wanted Franklin to be that, but he knew he didn't have it in him. Franklin still is an undeveloped character, as far as I'm concerned. Professional cartoonist, he's completely, he's been given short shrift, developmental. But the guy knew his limits. I mean, how real was he ever going to make Franklin? So Franklin became the embodiment, the emblematic symbol of something that inspired this black kid in Philadelphia. And maybe that's enough.
If you're looking for Charlie Brown, I don't think he's home.
I wonder if I should wait.
Why not? By the way, my name's Linus.
Hi, I'm Franklin.
I'm very glad to know you. While we're waiting, would you like to hear a few good words about the Great Pumpkin? Wow, I've never eaten so much chicken before in all my life.
This is a wishbone, Linus. We both make our wishes, and then we pull it apart. Whoever breaks off the biggest part gets his wish.
Do we wish out loud?
Of course we wish out loud. If you don't wish out loud, the wish answerer won't know what to bring you.
I apologize for being so stupid.
Let's see now. I wish for a new doll, a new bicycle, 4 new sweaters, some new saddle shoes, a wristwatch, and about $100.
I wish for a long life for all my friends. I wish for peace in the world. I wish for greater advancements in the fields of science and medicine. And
You seem to have an knack for spoiling everything.
Hey, right on, man. You already know it's Ali Rock. I want to give a big shout out to my brother Reek for letting me be a part of this intro song. Yo, I love you. You're one of the best brothers that I've ever had, brother. And you know that I support you. Watching your videos back to back on this side. Once again, I'm Ali Rocket. My new tape, Apollo Boy, is out right now. It is streaming everywhere. Thank you so much for everybody that has supported me. Shout out to my cadets. Shout out to everybody that supports my brother Reek. Keep watching, keep subscribing, keep liking. And I hope everybody does enjoy the intro song. We work really hard on it. So shout out to Reek again, brother. You know I love you, man. Guys, just forever.
Your money or your life, you dirty rat.
Third one out of these I hadn't seen before. It's a mystery Charlie Brown. First of these not directed by Bill Melendez. It's all Phil this time. This can either go all the way right or all the way left. This one is definitely the start of that era I was talking about. The first 3 minutes of this thing have no dialogue at all. It's just a bunch of Woodstock building his birdhouse and everything. I don't know how much of this I can take. How many parts are left in this series? The dialogue in these Peanut specials are always what's strongest for me. The first line of dialogue in a Peanut special usually sets the stage for whatever comes next. Looks like the first person to talk here is actually Sally, 4 minutes and 50 seconds in.
I'm doomed.
Aw shit. This one is about Woodstock's birdhouse getting stolen, so Snoopy puts on some detective drip and helps him look for it. I guess it's technically a mystery, right? Because they don't know who did it, but they don't find any clues, use any deductive reasoning, get any tips.
Pause. What the fuck?
They kind of just stumble upon the answer by accident, so it's kind of disappointing. It's a mystery Charlie Brown has a title that insinuates that this is one of the ones with like the most going on, but it somehow becomes the one with the least going on. If there's one thing about Peanut specials, they're definitely subversive, for better or for worse. No, I will not stop using that footage of Franklin. I think it's the funniest shit in the world to me. It turns out that Sally took the birdhouse for a school project. She thought it was a prehistoric birdhouse and wrote a report or something on it. Then it turns into a court case? I don't know, it's just kind of stupid. This one is really relentless too, because just when you think it's over, it just keeps going.
Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Snooper will find it, and find it he must.
Blood, what? What the fuck are you talking about? I don't think I like this new Peppermint Patty here. There's nothing wrong with the performance, but the roughness in the voice from the past specials isn't there. This one just kind of sounds like a normal kid.
You kind of like me, don't you, Chuck?
Snoopy, what a surprise.
This design is pretty hilarious though. Son, sit down. This nigga trying to do something. What the fuck is wrong with you? Say nah. I admittedly was not having a good time with this one until they pulled up on Pigpen and you see the fear in Snoopy's eyes when Buddy peels the door open. It's both hilarious and sad.
I haven't seen you for quite a while. How have you been? Nice talking to you. Come again. I don't have too many visitors.
Aw man, what the fuck? Like, I genuinely feel bad now. Look at this nigga. Somebody get this little dirty nigga a hug. Not me though. Buddy dirty as hell. That nigga probably got the virus or something. Respectfully.
It's a well-known fact that silver and the scales of justice have great affinity. Oh.
It's okay, my nigga. I don't know what she said either, and people talk to me like I'm king of the black people. This is another one, man. I just couldn't finish it. It took me a long time.
Whereas the party of the first part, hereafter known as Woodstock, and whereas the party of the second part, hereafter known as Sally Brown, therefore, and heretofore were, are, and will be parties to, or
Oh my god, my nigga, this shit so ass. I'm finna pass out. I at least laughed a few times, so I feel like I shouldn't rank it under He's Your Dog, because it at least has that going for itself. But man, this one just wasn't that interesting. I think it kind of comes down to which one would I rather watch again, and it definitely isn't this one. It's kind of the definition of a nothing special. I don't think I get what the idea was behind this one. Look, a Peanut special doesn't need a 3-act structured plot, right? It doesn't need the existential thought. It doesn't need a strong heart or a message. These characters are fun, and you should be allowed to have fun with them, right? But they work with balance together as a unit. When you put the cast in the back and remove all of the dialogue, I don't know. Just isn't for me.
Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. The proof of the pudding is under the crust.
This album is crazy, G. I don't even know what to tell you. Easter Beagle, I think I've seen this one once. I like it more already. They're actually talking in this one. It's another one of those day in the life ones. It has less of a through line than the Christmas one. It moves a lot more like Great Pumpkin. This one's about Easter coming up. Peppermint Patty and Marcy are trying to make colored eggs. Linus uses this as an opportunity to push one of his discount Hotep narratives.
On Easter Sunday, the Easter Beagle passes colored eggs to all the good little kids.
The Easter Beagle? Are you sure, Linus?
Of course.
What's going on here? What are you trying to do to my little sister?
And Snoopy, I don't know, it kind of looks like this nigga just wants to be a rabbit or something. Marcy not knowing how to boil eggs is the saddest, funniest, and most adorable thing I've seen in these specials so far.
Okay, sir. In they go.
Again, this is what they misunderstand about her in the newer stuff. She's stupid. She's supposed to be gleefully ignorant, not a bookworm. They invented a whole new trait for her, then flanderized her. How the hell does that work?
What do we do with Easter eggs now that we have them, sir?
We eat them. We put a little salt on them, and we eat them.
Son! It's weird to me when Peanuts makes fun of capitalism in some of these, because they literally became the product of it not too long after this. I think stuff like having Christmas decorations up in the store during Easter is really clever and funny, but they literally slapped this nigga Snoopy face on everything. Y'all are not Calvin and Hobbes, and it is okay, baby boy. Y'all ain't as bad as Garfield, cat titties. They do a pretty good job slowly showing how fucked up everyone's Easter is, so the low point in the third act before Snoopy pops out is really effective. They don't really earn this moment here with Charlie Brown, but the nigga's always sad, so I guess this gets a pass. Son, of course Snoopy doesn't have one for Charlie Brown, whatever, yo. This one is gorgeous too. There aren't a lot of big acting moments, but the ones there are definitely stand out. The backgrounds and scenery in this one, the department store, is really a sight to see. It's so stylized. This nigga Woodstock got the crib of the century. I'm finna rob this nigga. Easter Beagle kinda rocks. I think I was scared that this was gonna be a Snoopy thing because of the title and everything, but we spend most of our time goofing off with Marcy and Peppermint Patty with some Snoopy sprinkled in between there. It's a nice balance that I know that we won't keep, but I'll appreciate it while it's still here. I always get really subconscious when I feel like I'm not saying enough about some of the specials, but it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's really smart, it's really fun, it's really funny. I feel like I'm saying all of the same shit for a lot of these. It's definitely the staple one that I've seen the least, but it's earned its spot right next to the other ones. I was kind of waiting. I wish that they played up the fact that this is technically a win for Linus. Sally lets him have it for wasting another one of her holidays. She does a lot of the same yelling.
Why do I always listen to you? Trust me, you said. Trust me. Trust me. Now I've been burned again. Never trust a man with a blanket. Get me my lawyer. I've been humiliated.
And then the Easter Beagle actually ends up popping out and nobody apologizes to him or gives him a pat on the back. I mean, it's nice to see him happy, but he deserves to rub it in someone's face. Sometimes the Easter Beagle really does exist, but sometimes it's just Snoopy. Fuck, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Why do y'all watch these?
The Easter Beagle will never let you down.
I know he won't, but how about you? He's finally flipped!
That's what I like about you, Chuck. You're always right there with a quick wishy-washy answer.
Good grief.
You kind of like me, don't you, Chuck?
Only thing on my mind is getting some love when I'm home.
I don't know why I always listen to you.
My anxieties have anxieties. Dolly, why can't I act right outside of a baseball game?
Isn't it peculiar, Charlie Brown, how some traditions just slowly fade away?
Nigga, I got so mad I fucking went to Wendy's Twitter and messaged these niggas. I was like, what's up? What?